Amaka was known throughout the village for her breathtaking beauty. Her glowing skin, delicate features, and her melodic voice made her the desire of many suitors, yet no one ever understood why her parents, who were known to be very nice people, turned down every marriage proposal that came their way. Behind closed doors, Amaka's family was hiding a dark secret. Every night at exactly 10 p.m., Amaka would turn into a snake. This bizarre curse began when she was just a child, after she had stolen magical trinkets from the village chief priest's house. A curse was laid upon her by the angry chief priest, who condemned her to live out her days as a human being by day and a snake by night. Her parents were filled with shame when they when this happened and did everything to make sure that no one would ever know this dark secret, especially potential suitors that may come for her hand in marriage. They shielded her secret, fiercely protecting their daughter from the outside world. But Amaka was growing restless and longing for love and freedom. One evening, while fetching water at the village river, Amaka felt the familiar pull of the cool stream against her toes as she sang softly to herself. Unknown to her, Obi, a very handsome young man from the neighboring village, had been watching her from the bushes, intrigued by her beauty and enchanted by her voice. He stepped forward. Their eyes met, and a spark ignited between them. Obi introduced himself, and Amaka, feeling a strange but wonderful sensation, smiled back shyly. As they chatted, he offered to carry her water pot, and she agreed. Their conversation flowed effortlessly. It was as if they had known each other for a long time. As they walked down the dusty village road leading to Amaka's home, Amaka saw that they were close to her home. Amaka hurriedly took the pot from him, reminding herself of her nightly transformation and her deep secret, which she has to hide from everyone. Obi watched her disappear into the house, unable to shake off the feeling that she was very beautiful and very special. Little did he know he had just met a maiden with a deep, dangerous secret. Days passed, and Obi couldn't stop thinking about the mysterious maiden he had seen by the river. He found himself walking near the stream each evening, hoping for another encounter with Amaka. His heart raced when finally, 2 weeks after, he spotted her again, her radiant beauty undeniable. Amaka smiled when she saw Obi, and their union was filled with joy and warmth. They embraced, their connection growing stronger with each passing minute. As they talked and laughed by the river, they made a promise to meet each other every evening at 6 p.m. Amaka, however, insisted that she would also need to leave and go home by 7:30 p.m. every evening to help her mother with the cooking and house chores. Actually, the reason for this was a way for her to avoid Obi seeing her transform into a snake by 10 p.m. She wanted to stay longer than 7:30 p.m., but she could not. She feared that Obi may be able to discover her dark secret. Their evening meetings became the highlight of their day. Amaka and Obi were always filled with joy when they meet together. They would share stories, they would dance, enjoy eating fruits by the river, and just have a good time. One evening, completely lost in each other's company, Amaka let her guard down. She fell asleep in Obi's arms, forgetting the time. When she woke up, it was already 10:30 p.m. And of course, to her surprise, she had already transformed into a snake. Obi was still laying down beside her and fast asleep. Panicking, Amaka tried to curl her way out and tried to sneak away. But as she moved, Obi moved, and suddenly he opened his eyes and screamed. He didn't see Amaka anywhere. Instead, he jumped to his feet and all he could see was a snake. He started looking for what to use to kill the snake. He jumped, looking everywhere for Amaka and shocked at the snake. And at that time, Amaka curled up and spoke softly in her voice. Obi, my love. Obi, my love. Please don't kill me. It is me, Amaka. The sound of her voice calmed him, and he was still frozen in shock. He knew her secret was out. Obi stood in disbelief as Amaka, still in her snake form, explained the curse that had been placed upon her as a child. She spoke of her mischief and how she had stolen the chief priest's magical trinkets, leading to the curse that caused her to transform every night. With a heavy heart, Amaka finished her story, admitting that she understood if Obi never wanted to see her again. With that, she turned away, leaving Obi standing there, paralyzed, still in shock, not sure of what to do, not sure if what he had seen was a reality, not sure. His heart just filled with so many questions and confusion. After that fateful night, Obi was confused. He was filled with a lot of emotion, heartache. He loved Amaka so much. He wasn't sure of this. Everything was just going crazy. He couldn't focus on his work. He couldn't focus on his farm work. He couldn't focus in the market. All he could think about was beautiful Amaka. Finally, one day he couldn't take it anymore. He decided to get up from his village and go and look for Amaka. And he decided to find Amaka no matter the consequences. He went to Amaka's village, went to the market square, and pretended to be a long lost friend of Amaka's family, asking questions about the family and determined to find their home. Eventually, one of the market women showed him direction of how to get to Amaka's home. Obi's heart was filled with joy. As he approached close to Amaka's home, he hid in the bushes, waiting for an hour patiently, hoping that Amaka would come out walking down the road. After what seemed like an hour or two, Amaka came out. As he saw Amaka, he started whistling softly, singing one of their love songs that they always shared. Amaka stopped, froze in her tracks. She wasn't really sure. He kept whistling, and then she turned around and saw him. It was Obi again. Obi in live form. Oh, she was filled with so much joy. She ran and she hugged him, held him tightly. As she hugged him and held him tightly, suddenly her mother was coming down the street and saw them. Seeing her daughter in the arms of a strange man, her mother was very angry and said, Amaka, Amaka, stop that. What are you doing? Amaka quickly ran to her mother and explained and introduced Obi to her mother and said, he knows about my deep dark secret. He accepts me as I am. With that, Obi turned around and told Amaka's mother, I have come for her hand in marriage, and I will not be leaving. I will be here. I want to marry your daughter, Amaka. I am determined and I am serious. Amaka's mother, shocked at her daughter's willingness to share such a deep, dark secret, questioned Obi's intentions. Are you truly prepared to marry my daughter? Knowing her fate, she asked sternly. Obi stood his ground and swore that his love for Amaka was strong enough. Her mother decided to for Obi, saying Obi must return in 8 market days at 10 p.m. to propose to Amaka in snake form. Without any argument, Obi agreed. Amaka was filled with a mix of hope and fear. She was worried that he would change his mind, but Obi's determination remained unchanged. They said their goodbyes and Obi left for his village. As the days passed, Amaka anxiously awaited the 8th market day, with fear that Obi may not return. On the 8th market day, Amaka's heart raced and she was heavy with hope and confusion. She hadn't heard from Obi since the last time he came to their home. Her mother's words echoed in her mind. A secret shared is no longer a secret. That evening, Amaka, as usual, transformed into a snake at 10 p.m., as she had done every night for years. Her mother knocked on her door at 10:15 p.m., her voice filled with disappointment. I told you, he wouldn't come back, she said, convinced that Obi had abandoned them. Amaka curled up in her bed, feeling hopeless. But just as she was about to give up, she heard a knock on the door. She curled and moved to the window, her heart pounding. And there, standing outside, was Obi, playing their favorite love song on a flute. Seeing Obi outside, Amaka was filled with a sense of relief and joy. She hadn't expected him to keep his promise, but there he was, flute in hand, playing their song. Her mother and father too were surprised by his presence. They opened the door and welcomed him inside. Amaka's father, a man of few words, spoke with authority. You are a man of your word, but if you marry my daughter, you must leave this village and travel to a land where the sun shines until 10 p.m. That is the only place where this curse will be broken. Obi, filled with hope, agreed without hesitation. He knew that the journey ahead would be difficult, and he was ready to face any challenges for Amaka, the woman he loves. Amaka and Obi's wedding was a small, intimate affair. The village whispered about the sudden union, but no one dared to question it. After the ceremony, the couple wasted no time in preparing for their journey to the land where the sun shines until 10 p.m. The excitement of their marriage was filled with the weight of the cost still hanging over them. They packed their bags, said their goodbyes, set out on a journey that would take them across many dangerous lands and seas. Each night, Amaka transformed into a snake, and Obi would carefully wrap her in a blanket, shielding her from the world until morning, when she turns back into a human being. Their love grew stronger with each passing day, and they hoped that their new destination would bring the freedom that they were desperately seeking. Unknown to the couple, their journey had not gone unnoticed. A sneaky man named Igobi, who had been watching them from the shadows, had seen Amaka's nightly transformations. Igobi, a known blackmailer and conman, had his eyes on them from the moment they arrived the village of Ilo. As they settled into their new life in Ilo, renting a small hut near the market, Igobi began to weave his way into their lives. Pretending to be a friendly neighbor, he visited often, bringing gifts and offering his help. Little did Amaka and Obi know, Igobi's intentions were far from simple. He saw an opportunity to exploit the couple's secret for his own gain, and he was determined to uncover more about Amaka's mysterious condition. Igobi, the con man, inserted himself into Obi and Amaka's life. He introduced Obi to various people in the village, helping him make connections and settle in, while he gathered more personal information about Obi and Amaka, waiting for the right moment to strike. What Amaka and Obi didn't realize was that Igobi owed a lot of money to several people in the village. He saw Amaka and Obi as Obi's secret as a way to blackmail them and use it to pay off his debt. He set up a perfect plan to blackmail them into giving him money, hoping that he will finally be free from his financial problems. As the weeks passed, Igobi became bolder and started hinting villagers of the knowledge he held about Amaka's transformations. Amaka and Obi were still unaware of his true intentions and believed he was a loyal friend. Weeks turned into months, and despite their hopes, Amaka's curse remained unbroken. Amaka and Obi had believed that living in the land where the sun shines till 10 p.m. would free Amaka from her nightly transformation. But nothing had changed. Each night, Amaka continued to turn into a snake, and Obi's heart grew very heavy with worry. Was it a total waste of time coming to Ilo? Had they made a mistake? Should they have stayed in their village and looked for another way to remove the curse? Desperation began to creep into their hearts. They wondered if they should return to Amaka's village and try to appease the late village chief priest spirit. The weight of the curse was heavy over them, threatening to destroy their hope for a bright future. One evening, as Amaka and Obi sat outside their hut, discussing what to do next, Igobi suddenly burst into their yard, chased by a group of angry men carrying machetes. Obi, Obi, Igobi screamed. You must give these men money, or I will tell them your wife's secret. Obi and Amaka were completely shocked at what Igobi was saying. Igobi, their so-called friend, had been using them all along. The men chasing him were angry, shouting about the money Igobi owed them. Igobi, the con man, tried to shift the focus to Amaka's curse. I know what your wife is. I will tell everyone if you don't pay up. Obi, shocked and fearful, tried to calm the situation, but the damage had been done. The men looked at Igobi, confused but curious. The men wanted to know about Igobi's claims about Amaka. They demanded to know the truth. What secret? They asked, turning their attention to Amaka. Igobi seized the opportunity, pointed at her and said, Obi's wife is not a woman. She is a snake. Every night at 10 p.m., she transforms into a serpent. You don't believe me? Come back at 10 p.m. and you'll see for yourself. Obi's heart sank as he saw the disbelief and horror in the men's eyes. Amaka stood frozen, tears streaming down her face. She had always feared this day would come, the day when her secret would be exposed to the world. The men agreed to return at 10 p.m. to witness the transformation, and Igobi, satisfied with the problem he had cursed, walked away. As the sun began to set, Obi and Amaka sat in silence, fear gripping their hearts. They knew they had only a few hours before the men would return, ready to see Amaka's transformation for themselves. What are we going to do? Amaka whispered, her voice trembling. Obi, desperate to protect his wife, racked his brain for a solution. He couldn't let the villagers hurt his wife, but no matter how hard he thought, no plan seemed to work. As 10 p.m. approached, the sound of voices could be heard coming close to their house. The villagers were coming, chanting, Snake woman, come outside. The air was thick with tension. Obi held Amaka tightly, whispering words of comfort, even though he was very afraid. At exactly 10 p.m., the villagers gathered in front of Obi and Amaka's hut. Everyone's eyes focused on Amaka. Igobi standing at the front of the crowd, grinning. Now watch as she transforms, he said, confident in his knowledge of the curse. Amaka stood before them, tears running down her face, waiting for the inevitable. The villagers watched in silence, all of them waiting for a woman to transform into a snake. But as the seconds ticked by, nothing happened. To everyone's disappointment, Amaka remained a human being. Confusion spread through the crowd. Igobi, growing agitated, yelled, Wait, it is coming. Just watch. Keep looking at her. But the clock kept ticking, and still Amaka did not change. The villagers, now suspicious of Igobi, began to murmur amongst themselves. Igobi and his lies and games again? They have had enough of this nonsense. They needed to deal with him finally. Amaka and Obi, on the other hand, were looking at each other in disbelief, thinking, could it be that the curse had been lifted? As the minutes passed and Amaka remained unchanged, Obi and Amaka gradually started to smile. Could the curse truly be gone? They waited till 10:15 p.m. just to be sure. As the time passed and dragged on, it became clear that something had shifted. Amaka's transformation had not happened for the first time in years. Relief washed over her body, and she smiled through her tears. Obi embraced her, his heart filled with so much joy. The villagers, now growing restless, turned on Igobi. You have deceived us again, Igobi, they shouted. There is no snake woman here. You wasted our time. Igobi, realizing his failed plan, tried to run away, but the villagers didn't give him any chance to escape. They dragged him away to face punishment for his lies and debt. They had had enough. Once Igobi was taken away, the villagers turned to Obi and Amaka, apologizing for their intrusion. We are sorry for believing such nonsense, one of the elders said. You are welcome to live in our village for as long as you like. Obi and Amaka Those shaken by the events of the evening were grateful for the villagers' understanding. With the curse completely broken, they could now live their lives freely without the fear of Amaka's transformation. As the villagers left, Obi held Amaka close. We've made it, my love, he whispered. We are free. Amaka, overwhelmed with emotion, hugged him tightly. They had endured so much, but now they could finally begin their lives together without the shadow of the curse hanging over them. With the curse broken and the villagers now welcoming them, Obi and Amaka began to build a new life in the land where the sun shines till 10 p.m. They worked hard, tending to their small farm, making new friends in the village. And for the first time in years, Amaka felt truly free. She no longer had to worry about the nightly transformation that has haunted her so many years. As the days turned into weeks, the couple grew closer, their love growing stronger with each passing moment. Despite the new happiness, Obi and Amaka couldn't shake the feeling that something was still not complete. Though the curse seemed to be broken, they couldn't help but wonder if it would return one day. They had not yet fully understood why the curse had been lifted, and they felt a lot of uncertainty within them. One day, as they sat by the river, reflecting on their journey, Amaka voiced her concerns. What if the curse isn't truly gone? She asked, her voice filled with fear. Obi, ever the optimist, reassured her that they would face whatever came their way, just as they had always done. But deep down, him too, he was worried that their happiness may be short lived. Little did they know an unexpected visitor was about to arrive, bringing answers they never could have imagined. One afternoon, as Obi and Amaka tended to their farm, they noticed a stranger approaching their hut. The man, dressed in traditional robes, carried an air of authority. As he drew closer, Amaka's heart skipped a beat. He looked familiar. I am also the new chief priest of your village, the man said, bowing respectfully. I have come to speak with you about the curse that once plagued your life, Amaka. Startled, Amaka and Obi invited him inside. Also explained that he had inherited the position of chief priest after the previous one had passed away. He had learned of Amaka's curse and had been studying the ways to lift it. I believe the curse was tied to the land, he explained. Once you left the village and moved to this place where the sun shines till 10 p.m., the curse started to lose its power. As Ozo continued to explain, Amaka and Obi listened intently. The curse was never meant to last forever, he said. It was a punishment for your actions as a child, but it was also a test of your character. By leaving the village and starting a new life, you broke the cycle of the curse. The land where the sun shines until 10 p.m. has unique properties that awaken dark magic. It is why the curse was lifted and you no longer transform. Amaka, overwhelmed with emotion, thanked the chief priest for his wisdom. She now understood that her journey had only been about escaping the curse, but about growing as a person and finding true love. Obi too felt a sense of closure, knowing that they had truly conquered the curse together. With the truth about the curse finally revealed, Amaka and Obi embraced their new life with renewed peace and happiness. They no longer had to worry about the dark secret that had once overshadowed their love. Each day was a gift filled with joy and a promise of a bright future. The village of Ilo became their home, and the villagers who once doubted them now became their friends. Amaka, free from burden of her secret, blossomed into a confident, happy woman she had always dreamed of being. Obi, always by her side, supported her in every way, and together they built a life with love, laughter, and hope. As time went on, Amaka and Obi's love grew, and they began to dream of starting a family. One day, Amaka discovered she was pregnant, and the news filled their home with joy. The villagers celebrated with them, and Amaka's heart was filled with joy and gratitude for the life she now had. No longer burdened by the curse, she was free to embrace motherhood, all the joys it would bring. Obi too was very happy. ready to become a father, to share the wisdom he had gained from their journey with their children. As their children began to grow, Amaka and Obi shared the story of their journey. They taught their children about the importance of honesty, love, and perseverance. The story of Amaka's curse became a family legend, a reminder of the trials they had faced and overcome. Their children listened as they recounted the tale of how their mother had once been cursed to transform into a snake, and how their father's undying love had helped break the curse. The story became a symbol of strength of their family, passed down through generations, and as a testament to the power of love and the importance of staying true to oneself. Years passed, and Amaka and Obi lived a long and happy life together in the village of Ilo. They raised their children with love and wisdom, teaching them the values that guided them through their own journey. The village, once a place of uncertainty for them, had become a true home, filled with friends and family who cherished them. As they grew older, Amaka and Obi often sat by the river where their love first started, reflecting on the incredible journey they had shared. They had faced many challenges, but their love had always prevailed. Together, they had broken the curse, built a family, and created a life filled with happiness. As the sun set each evening, they knew that their love would continue to shine no matter what. Like and subscribe to our channel for more African tales like this. All our tales are authentic, beautiful, and real. We hope you enjoyed this. Have a great day.